ARMY shocked. Jungkook finally reveals the reason behind his tearful breakdown in Taehyung's arms. The scene that left millions speechless has finally been addressed. When Jungkook collapsed into tears in Taehyung's embrace, the image burned itself into the memory of ARMY worldwide. Questions spread like wildfire. Why did the unshakable Golden Maknae break down so intensely? And why did he only find comfort in Taehyung's arms? For days, silence prevailed. No explanations were given. No context was offered. But now, the weight of that night has shifted dramatically because Jungkook himself has revealed the truth, and the reason is far more overwhelming than anyone dared to imagine. This is not a story about a fleeting emotional moment. It is a revelation that cuts to the very foundation of Jungkook's relationship with Taehyung, the burden of his years in the spotlight, and the internal struggles he has carried silently while the world demanded perfection. His tears were not merely an emotional slip. They were the eruption of years of restraint, pain, and unspoken truths. The shocking part is not that Jungkook cried, but why he cried and what Taehyung represented at that exact moment. Witnesses described the breakdown as raw, uncontrollable, and deeply human. Jungkook, who has long been known as the member who carries himself with strength and resilience, could not hold back his emotions. Cameras captured his trembling shoulders, his desperate grip on Taehyung, and the way Taehyung held him firmly, whispering something that ARMYs still replay endlessly, trying to decode. Yet until now, no one understood the weight behind those whispers. Why was Taehyung the only one Jungkook turned to? Why did his tears not stop even as he was comforted? Jungkook's explanation has cast the entire moment in a new light. He admitted that the tears were not spontaneous. They were years in the making. "I couldn't hold it in anymore," he confessed in a tone that ARMY described as heavier than anything they had heard before. He spoke of exhaustion, of pressure, of the impossible standards he has faced since adolescence. He admitted that beneath the image of the unstoppable performer lies a man who has carried burdens far too heavy to bear alone. And in that moment, Taehyung became his anchor, the one person who silently understood the weight without needing words. The revelation is heartbreaking because it confirms what many feared but few dared to say. Jungkook's tears were not about a single event, but about a lifetime of expectations. He revealed that he had been on the verge of breaking many times, but always chose to remain silent. This time, however, his silence crumbled. Taehyung's presence was the trigger. His stability, his quiet understanding, his unwavering support broke the walls Jungkook had built around his pain. That is why Jungkook collapsed in his arms, and that is why the embrace became a defining image. What adds to the shock is Jungkook's admission that he had kept these feelings locked away from almost everyone. The public saw perfection. His peers saw determination. His fans saw brilliance. But inside, Jungkook admitted he was fighting exhaustion that no one could see. He revealed that Taehyung had been one of the few who noticed the cracks, who asked questions, who stayed close even when Jungkook tried to distance himself. This is why Taehyung's embrace became the breaking point. It was not weakness, it was trust. The emotional gravity of this confession cannot be overstated. ARMY around the world have reacted with a mix of heartbreak, admiration, and renewed respect. Social platforms flooded with messages. He's been holding this in all along. Taehyung really is his safe space. How much has Jungkook been hiding just to keep us happy? The reaction is not simply about idol worship. It is about empathy for a young man who has spent his life under relentless scrutiny. What makes this revelation even more impactful is the timing. Jungkook chose to speak when silence would have been easier. By revealing the true reason behind his tears, he opened a wound not just for himself, but for ARMY who have followed his journey closely. The vulnerability in his words turned the moment from mystery into an undeniable reality. The Golden Maknae is not invincible. He is human, fragile, and deeply reliant on the bonds he has built with those closest to him. symbolism of Taehyung's role cannot be ignored. Jungkook's words placed emphasis on the fact that it had to be Taehyung. He explained that Taehyung has always carried an ability to ground him, to remind him that he is more than just an image. This is why, when the dam finally broke, Jungkook sought Taehyung instinctively. It was not a planned act, not a staged gesture, but the most honest expression of trust he could show in that moment. The embrace, therefore, was more than comfort, it was testimony. The mystery now shifts to the future. Jungkook's confession raises difficult questions. How much longer can he carry this weight? Will moments like these continue to surface as the pressure intensifies? What role will Taehyung, and perhaps the other members, play in helping him navigate the relentless expectations placed on his shoulders? These questions linger heavily, leaving ARMY unsettled, wondering how much of Jungkook's silence has yet to be broken. One cannot ignore the wider implications. His words shed light not only on his personal struggles, but also on the immense emotional toll of life in the spotlight. If someone as seemingly untouchable as Jungkook can crumble under the pressure, what does it say about the hidden battles of others in similar positions? His tears may have been personal, but the impact of his confession resonates far beyond himself. What remains undeniable is the bond that carried him through the collapse. Jungkook's revelation has elevated the moment from speculation to testimony. His tears were not shame, but survival. And Taehyung's role was not passive, it was essential. The image of their embrace will remain iconic, not because it was dramatic, but because it was real. It was the rare glimpse into the unfiltered humanity of two men who have carried the weight of global fame for over a decade. As Jungkook's words continue to echo, ARMY is left grappling with the aftershocks. Relief that he finally spoke. Pain that he endured in silence for so long. Gratitude that Taehyung was there. And fear of what might still be hidden. The truth has emerged, but it has also raised an uncomfortable reality. The strength of idols is not infinite. Jungkook's breakdown was not the end of his story. It was the beginning of a truth that can no longer be ignored. For now, one fact stands unshaken. Jungkook's tears were not weakness. They were a revelation. And the reason he finally let them fall in Taehyung's arms has forever changed how ARMY sees him and how the world understands the weight he carries.